Hey guys, today I've got something called BloodCraft, the Unreliable Hero's Journey. And my main idea is that the unreliable narrators of both Bloodborne and Lovecraft literature create an unstable version of Joseph Campbell's hero's journey, either by creating multiple endings or losing their minds to both the great ones and the old ones through the methods of insight and madness. My critical theory behind this is post-structuralism. I'm looking at the destabilized meaning, which is when the author is actually not the center of analysis, it's rather any other element of the work, such as the reader, the narrative structure, or simply any other themes that are found in the story. As is well known by the Bloodborne community, Miyazaki was highly influenced by H.P. Lovecraft himself, as we can see it in the game's own concept art, which shows a little bit of a gothic element there, as well as the architecture of Yarnum, which is mostly centered around old, huge Victorian churches, as well as old houses. On top of the architecture, we also have the Lovecraft Cthulhu mythos, in which some of the creatures in Bloodborne resemble some of the creatures from the mythos, such as Amygdala, or the lesser Amygdalas, who have the tentacles on their face like Cthulhu. There's also Ram the Vakish spider, who is the great one who veils the world from the blood moon, and Ebritis, daughter of the cosmos, who is the great one who has given the power to the choir. As stated earlier, this is about the unreliable narrator's hero's journey, a narrator that is not trustworthy, whose renditions of events must be taken with a grain of salt. Different aspects can classify a narrator as unreliable, such as a mental illness, limited perception, or a twisted morality. In Bloodborne's case, the hunter, the main character, the player character, is the unreliable narrator, in the sense that we control the hunter, not the hunter himself, meaning we can also control the story, which makes it unreliable as we all have different values, we all have different views. Therefore, the hero's journey actually becomes the hunter's journey, in that the 12 stages are actually a lot different than Joseph Campbell intended. The 12 stages of the hero's journey are as follows. They are the call, the supernatural aid, crossing the boundary, belly of the whale, meeting the mentor, road of trials, approach the inmost, the ordeal, the reward, the road back, resurrection, and return of the elixir. Campbell's hero's journey is the common template of a broad category of takes that involve a hero who goes on an adventure and in a decisive crisis wins a victory against a great source of evil, and then comes home cleansed, changed, or transformed, able to bestow gifts upon his fellow man. Or in the words of Joseph Campbell himself, a hero ventures forth from the world of supernatural wonder. Fabulous forces are there encountered and a decisive victory is won. The hero comes back from this mysterious adventure with the power to bestow boons upon his fellow man. Now that I've defined the hero's journey, let's get into the Bloodborne's The Hunter's Journey, in which the hunter's journey also follows the 12 stages of the hero's journey. Following the 12 stages, the call is when the hunter searches for a blood cure. Supernatural aid is when the hunter receives the pale blood from the blood minister. Crossing the boundary is when the hunter finally joins the hunt. Belly of the whale is when the hunter dies to the first beast and wakes into the hunter's dream. Meeting the mentor, of course, is obviously when Hunter meets Gehrman, the doll, and the messengers who provide the weapons and tools needed to survive the hunt. The Road of Trials is the entire game itself, in which the hunter faces numerous challenges, the bosses, during the hunt, growing stronger with each kill. Approaching the Inmost is when the hunter returns to the dream after slaying the last nightmare, and completing the hunt, where a choice must be made to decide his fate. The ordeal is then the hunter's fate has finally been decided based on his choice, which are of course are the 3 different endings, which I will get to later. The rewards phase, however, isn't a phase that actually exists in Bloodborne, as there isn't a real reward except for the player him or herself, which is the satisfaction of completion. The hunter's reward could be becoming a great one, the new watcher, or returning home. The interesting part is the last 3 stages of the 12 stages of the hero's journey, the road back, resurrection, and return of the elixir. If you are watching this video and you have yet to play Bloodborne or haven't gotten to the ending yet, right now I'm going to tell you there is a spoiler warning. I repeat, there is a spoiler warning. Now that that's been said, let's move on. When you get to the end of the game, we're actually starting at the ordeal. However, the ordeal stage skips straight to the road back for each ending, which is exactly the same. The road back is the hunter completes the night's hunt and returns to the dream, but it looks different. At this point, the hunter has to make a choice at the end of the game. In the following cutscene, we will see the conversation between Gehrman and the hunter.
Good hunter, you've done well. The night is near its end. Now, I will show you mercy. You will die, forget the dream, and awake under the morning sun. You will be freed from this terrible hunter's dream.
If the hunter chooses to submit his life, we go to the first ending, which is called Yarn of Sunrise, in which, for the resurrection stage, the hunter accepts Gehrman's offer of embracing death in the dream and wakes up in the waking world. Return of the Elixir stage is the hunter beginning his journey home. Here's a clip.
Farewell, good hunter. May you find your worth in the waking world.
Ending 2 is called Honoring Wishes, and in this stage, Resurrection and Return of the Elixir are actually quite different. In the Resurrection, the hunter rejects Gehrman's offer and battles in a final fight to the death. Return of the Elixir stage is Hunter defeats Gehrman and is accepted by the Moon Presence to become the next Watcher of the Hunter's Dream. Here's the clip.
Dear, oh dear. What was it? The hunt? The blood? Or the horrible dream? Oh, it doesn't matter. It always comes down to the hunter's helper to clean up after these sorts of messes. Tonight, Gehrman joins the hunt.
And so, the hunt begins again.
Ending 3 is called Childhood Beginnings, and it's the secret ending of Bloodborne. In this ending, the stages Resurrection and Return of the Elixir are quite different. Resurrection is the hunter's rejection of Gehrman's offer, and after he kills him. Afterward, the Moon Presence tries to embrace the hunter, but the umbilical cores he consumed reject it, causing one last fight against a Great One. Return of the Elixir is after defeating the Moon Presence, the hunter is morphed into a slug-like form, becoming a Great One and transcending humanity. Here's the clip.
Are you cold? Oh, good hunter.
Thus concludes my presentation on BloodCraft, the Unreliable Hero's Journey. Thank you all for watching.